Welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Law, SOL, Postgraduate Certificate in Patent Practice, PGCPP. MIRO 22 International Framework for Patent Protection. Block 1 WIPO Administered Treaties. Unit 2 Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, and Patent Law Treaty, PLT. 2.1 Introduction. The national patent system requires the filing of individual patent applications for each country for which patent protection is sought, with the exception of the regional patent systems such as the African Intellectual Property Organization, OAPI, system, the Harare Protocol system established in the framework of the African Regional Industrial Property Organization, ARIPO, the Eurasian Patent System and the European Patent System. Under the traditional Paris Convention route, you can claim the priority of an earlier application for applications filed subsequently in foreign countries, but such later applications must be filed within 12 months of the filing date of the earlier application. This involves the preparation and filing of patent applications within 1 year of first filing for all countries in which the protection for invention is sought. This means expenses for translation, patent attorneys in the various countries and payment of fees to the patent offices, all at a time when you generally do not know whether you are likely to obtain a patent or whether the invention is really new compared with the state-of-the-art. Filing of patent applications under the national system means that every single patent office with which an application is filed has to carry out a formal examination of every application filed with it, where patent officers examine patent applications as to substance. Each office has to make a search to determine the state of the art in the technical field of the invention and has to carry out an examination as to patentability. The principal difference between the national patent system and the regional patent systems such as those mentioned above is that a regional patent is granted by one patent office for several states. Otherwise, the procedure to be followed is still the same in all the cases. In order to overcome some of the problems involved in the national system, in September 1966, the Executive Committee of the International, Paris, Union for the Protection of Industrial Property invited BIRPI, the predecessor of WIPO, to undertake urgently a study of solutions to reduce the duplication of the effort both for applicants and national patent offices. In the following years, a number of BIRPI meetings prepared drafts and a diplomatic conference held in Washington, D.A., in June 1970 adopted a treaty called the Patent Cooperation Treaty. The Patent Cooperation Treaty or PCT entered into force on January 24, 1978 and became operational on June 1, 1978, with an initial 18 contracting states. The progress of the PCT demonstrates the certainty that many more countries, developing as well as developed, will become party to the PCT in the years ahead and that its use, evidenced by the number of applications filed, will continue to increase significantly. The list of PCT member countries as of July 1, 2004 is given in Appendix A. The complete text of Patent Cooperation Treaty is given in Appendix B. The regulations under PCT can be accessed on the following web address: http www.wipo.int/pet/n texts PDF petregs PDF. To harmonize and streamline formal procedures in respect of national and regional patent applications and patents, the Patent Law Treaty (PLT) was adopted on June 1, 2000 at a diplomatic conference in Geneva. With a significant exception for the filing date requirements, the PLT provides maximum sets of requirements which the office of a contracting party may apply. It may not lay down any other formal requirements in respect of matters dealt with by this treaty. Any state which is party to the Paris Convention for the Protection of Industrial Property, or which is a member of WIPO, may become party to the PLT. In addition, any intergovernmental organization may become party to the treaty under some conditions. 2.2 Objectives. After studying this unit, you should be able to understand difficulties faced in filing separate national patents. Explain the objectives of PCT. List the actions taken to achieve these objectives. Describe different phases of patent filing under PCT. Explain the steps of application processing under PCT filing. Explain the advantages of PCT system. Describe the provisions of PLT and state the advantages of PLT. 2.3 Basic objectives of PCT. As its name suggests, the Patent Cooperation Treaty is an agreement for international cooperation in the field of patents. It is often spoken of as being the most significant advance in international cooperation in this field since the adoption of the Paris Convention for Protection of Industrial Property. It is, however, largely a treaty for rationalization and cooperation with regard to the filing, searching and examination of patent applications and the dissemination of the technical information contained therein. The PET does not provide for the grant of international patents. The task of and responsibility for granting patents remains exclusively in the hands of the patent offices of, or acting for, the countries where protection is sought. The PCT does not compete with but, in fact, complements the Paris Convention. Indeed, it is a special 6 agreement under the Paris Convention open only to states which are already party to that convention. The principal objective of the PCT is to improve on the previously established means of applying in several countries for patent protection for inventions. This acts both in the interests of the users of the patent system and the offices which have responsibility for administering it. To achieve its objective, the PCT establishes an international system which enables the filing, with a single patent office, the receiving office, of a single application, the international application, in one language having effect in each of the countries party to the PCT which the applicant names, designates, in the application, provides for the formal examination of the international application by a single patent office, the receiving office, subjects each international application to an international search which results in a report citing the relevant prior art, mainly published patent documents relating to previous inventions, which may have to be taken into account in deciding whether the invention is patentable, provides for centralized international publication of international applications with the related international search reports, as well as their communication to the designated offices, provides an option for an international preliminary examination of the international application, which gives the applicant and subsequently the offices that have to decide whether or not to grant a patent, a report containing an opinion as to whether the claimed invention meets certain international criteria for patentability. The procedure described above is commonly called the international phase of the PCT procedure. The national phase pertains to the last part of the patent granting procedure, which is the task of the designated offices, i.e., the nation.al offices of, or acting for, the countries which have been designated in the international application. In PCT terminology, a reference to national office, national phase or national fees includes the reference to the procedure before a regional patent office. In more developed countries with a greater number of patent applications, patent offices have been struggling for years with heavy workloads, leading to delays, and with questions of how best to allocate resources, so as to ensure that the patent system yields the greatest return from the available manpower. Under the T system, by the time the international application reaches the national office, it has already been examined as to form by the receiving office, been searched by the International Searching Authority, and possibly examined by an international preliminary examining authority. These centralized procedures of the international phase thus reduce the workload of the national patent offices. Further main objectives of the PCT are to facilitate and accelerate access by industry and other interested sectors to technical information related to inventions and to assist developing countries in gaining access to technology. 2.4 The functioning of the PCT system. 2.4.1 Filing an international application. Any national or resident of a PCT contracting state can file an international application. You can file the international applications with the national office, which will act as a PCT receiving office. In addition, the International Bureau can act as a receiving office as an option for nationals and residents of all PCT contracting states. An international application has the effect, as of the international filing date, of a national Application in those PCT contracting states which you designate for a national patent. In your application, it has the effect of a regional patent application in those PCT contracting states which are party to a regional patent treaty, providing they are designated for a regional patent, that is, an ARIPO patent, a Eurasian patent, a European patent or an OAPI patent. The PCT prescribes certain standards for international applications. An international application which is prepared in accordance with these standards will be acceptable, so far as the form and contents of the application are concerned, to all the PCT contracting states, and no subsequent modifications because of varying national or regional requirements, and the cost associated therewith, will become necessary. No national law may require compliance with requirements relating to the form or contents of the international application different from or additional to those which are provided for by the PCT. Only a single set of fees is incurred for the preparation and filing of the international application, and they are payable in one currency and at one office, the receiving office. Payment of national fees to the designated offices is delayed. The national fees become payable much later than for a filing by the traditional Paris Convention route. The fees payable to the receiving office for an international application consist of three main elements: the transmittal fee, to cover the work of the receiving office; the search fee, to cover the work of the International Searching Authority; and the international fee, to cover the work of the International Bureau. An applicant who is a natural person and who is a national of and resides in a state whose per capita national income is below a certain level, based on income figures used by the United Nations for determining its scale of assessments for contributions to it, is entitled to a sizable reduction of certain PCT fees, including the international fee. If there are several applicants, each must satisfy the above-mentioned criteria. The language in which an international application can be filed depends upon the requirements of the receiving office with which the application is filed and of the International Searching Authority which is to carry out the international search. The main languages in which international applications may be filed are Chinese, English, French, German, Japanese, Russian and Spanish. Other languages also accepted, so far, are Danish, Dutch, Finnish, Norwegian and Swedish. The receiving office, after having accorded an international filing date and made a formal check, sends a copy of the international application to the International Bureau of WIPO, the record copy, and another copy, the search copy, to the International Searching Authority. It keeps a third copy, the home copy. The receiving office also collects all the PCT fees and transfers the search fee to the International Searching Authority and the international fee to the International Bureau. 2.4.2 International Search. Every international application is subjected to an international search, that is, a high-quality search of the patent documents and other technical literature in those languages in which most patent applications are filed, English, French and German, and in certain cases Chinese, Japanese, Russian and Spanish. The high quality of the international search is assured by the standards prescribed in the PCT for the documentation, staff, qualifications and search methods of the international searching authorities, which are experienced patent officers that have been specially appointed to carry out international searches by the Assembly of the PCT Union, the highest administrative body created under the PCT, on the basis of an agreement to observe PCT standards and time limits. The following officers have been appointed to act as international searching authorities: the Australian Patent Office, the Austrian Patent Office, the Chinese Patent Office, the European Patent Office, the Japanese Patent Office, the Russian Patent Office, the Spanish Patent and Trademark Office, the Swedish Patent Office and the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Each international searching authority is required to have at least the prescribed PCT minimum documentation, properly arranged for search purposes, which can be described in general as comprising the patent documents, as from 1920, of the major industrialized countries, together with agreed items of non-patent literature. The International Searching Authority, in making the search, must make use of its full facilities, i.e., the PCT minimum documentation and any additional documentation it may possess, the obligation to consult at least the PCT minimum documentation guarantees a high level of international searching. The results of the international search are given in an international search report, which is normally made available to you as an applicant by the 4th or 5th month after the application is filed. The citations of documents of relevant prior art in the international search report enable you to calculate your chances of obtaining a patent in or for the countries designated in the international application, and to decide whether it is worthwhile to continue to seek protection for the invention in the designated states. An international search report which is favorable, that is, in which the citations of prior art would appear not to prevent the grant of a patent, assists you in the subsequent prosecution of the application before the designated offices. If a search report is unfavorable, you have the opportunity to amend the claims in the international application to better distinguish the invention from the state of the art or to withdraw the application before it is published. The international search report assists designated offices, in particular offices which do not have technically qualified staff and an extensive collection of patent documents arranged in a manner suitable for search purposes, in examining applications and otherwise evaluating the inventions described. The International Searching Authority sends the International Search Report to the applicant and to the International Bureau. The International Bureau includes the search report in the international publication of the international application and sends a copy to the designated offices. 2.4.3 International Publication. International publication serves two main purposes: to disclose to the public the invention, i.e., in general, the technological advance made by the inventor, and to set out the scope of the protection which may ultimately be obtained. The International Bureau publishes a PCT pamphlet which contains a front page setting out bibliographic data furnished by the applicant, together with data such as the International Patent Classification (PC) symbol assigned by the International Searching Authority, the abstract and also the description, the claims, any drawings in the International Search Report. If the claims of the international application have been amended, the claims are published both as filed and as amended. International publication occurs, in general, 18 months after the priority date of the international application. The pamphlet is published in the language of the international application as filed, if that language is Chinese, English, French, German, Japanese, Russian or Spanish. If, however, the international application is published in Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Russian, or Spanish, the title of the invention, the abstract and the international search report are also published in English. If the international application has been filed in any other language, it is translated and published in English. The publication of each pamphlet is announced in the PET Gazette, which lists the published international applications in the form of entries reproducing data taken from the front pages of the pamphlets. Each issue of the PET Gazette also contains a classification index, allowing the selection of the published international applications by technical fields. These publications, the pamphlet and the PET Gazette, are distributed free of charge by the International Bureau on a systematic basis to all PCT contracting states. They are now also available in CD-ROM format in searchable form. To the public, they are supplied on request, against payment of a fee. 2.4.4 International Preliminary Examination. Once you receive the International Search Report as an applicant, you can make a specific request for International Preliminary Examination by filing a demand in which the designated states are elected. This enables you to obtain an opinion as to whether the claimed invention meets any or all of the criteria of patentability, i.e., whether it appears to be novel, whether it appears to involve an inventive step, and whether it appears to be industrially applicable. A fee for International Preliminary Examination is due when a demand is filed with the International Preliminary Examining Authority, together with a handling fee to cover the work of the International Bureau. Applicants from certain states are entitled to a sizable reduction of the handling fee. As in the case of the international searching authorities, the international preliminary examining authorities are appointed by the Assembly of the PCT Union. The officers, which have been appointed, are the same as those appointed as international searching authorities, with the exception of the Spanish Patent and Trademark Office. The results of the international preliminary examination are given in a report which is made available to the applicant and the elected officers, which are the officers of, or acting for, the elected states, through the International Bureau, which is also responsible for translating the report into English, if required by any elected office. The opinion on the patentability of the invention, on the basis of the international criteria, provides the applicant with an even stronger basis for calculating the chance of obtaining a patent, and the elected officers have a better basis for their decision whether to grant a patent. In countries where patents are granted without examination as to substance, the international preliminary examination report will provide a solid basis for parties interested in the invention, e.g., for licensing purposes, to evaluate the validity of such patents. Usually upon publication of the international application, but at the latest by the end of the 19th month after the priority date, the International Bureau communicates the international application to the designated officers. The copy communicated will be used for the subsequent prosecution of the international application before those officers, since the PCT is only a system for filing and not for granting patents. Patent granting is the exclusive task and responsibility of the designated officers. In practice, more than half of these officers have waived the weekly communications of copies of published international applications and receive, instead, a free of charge complete collection on CD-ROM of all such applications. A CD-ROM workstation is also provided by the International Bureau. The main advantages of the CD-ROM format are rapid access via computer and the limited storage space required. In any case, a designated office is entitled to receive, upon specific request, copies, on paper, of the international applications, and of related documents, in which it is designated. When an international patent application has been filed, the national procedures in relation to the majority of the designated officers are delayed until the end of the 30th month from the priority date. There are some exceptions, even longer delays are available before some officers. The delay normally gives you 18 months more before you have to fulfill the national requirements than if you do not use the PCT. This additional time can be very useful for evaluating the chances of obtaining patents and of exploiting your invention commercially in the various designated countries, and for assessing both the technical value of your invention as well as the continued need for protection in those countries. 2.4.5 National Phase. After having received an international search report and, where appropriate, an international preliminary examination report, and after having had the possibility of amending the application, you are now in a good position to decide whether there is a chance of obtaining patents in the designated states. If you see no likelihood, you can either withdraw the application or do nothing. In the latter case, the international application will lose the effect of a national application and the procedure will automatically come to an end. In such a case, you have saved yourself of great expense, namely, the costs involved in filing separate national applications under the traditional Paris Convention route. You have not paid for applications and translations for the national officers, you have not paid fees to those officers, and you have also not appointed local agents. All this is required under the traditional Paris Convention route within 12 months from the priority date, and must be done without having the basis for evaluating the likelihood of obtaining a patent, which is afforded under the PET by the International Search Report and, optionally, the International Preliminary Examination Report, where you decide to continue the procedure, and only in that event, you must pay the prescribed national fees to the designated or elected officers and, if required, furnish to these officers translations of the international application into their official language. You may also have to appoint a local agent. Once national processing starts, the normal national procedures apply, subject to specific exceptions arising out of the PCT procedure. For example, matters of form and contents of the international application, and the provision of copies of the priority document. WIPO has published a PET Applicant's Guide. Volume 1 of this guide contains general information for users of the PET, relating to the international phase. Volume EL contains information on the procedure before the designated and elected offices, relating to the national phase. Further information is regularly published in the PET Gazette, Section IV Notices and Information of a General Character, and in the PET Newsletter, a monthly publication which contains up-to-date news about the PCT. WIPO's homepage on the internet includes the PCT Applicant's Guide in the PCT Newsletter as well as other information of a general nature on the PCT. The World Wide Web address is http://www.wipo.int. 2.5 Advantages of the PCT system. 2.5.1 Advantages for the Patent Office. More and more patent offices are considering options as to how to employ their available manpower to the greatest advantage. This is true because of the number of patent applications which they must handle. In a country in the process of development, the number will surely rise considerably in the future as a consequence of an increase in the country's industrial activity. Also, the patent officers are being required to fulfill the expanding role of providing technical advisory services to local industry, either in terms of advising on available technologies or in connection with national research and development activities. This responsibility comes because of available patent documentation and technically trained staff. The PCT assists patent offices in meeting these demands in various ways. Parent offices can expect to employ their available manpower to handle more patent applications, since those applications coining via the PCT have already been verified. With regard to compliance with formal requirements during the international phase, patent offices can save part of the cost of publishing. If the international application has been published in an official language of the country, they can forgo publication altogether. Countries having a different official language may limit themselves to publishing only a translation of the abstract which accompanies international applications. Copies of the full text of the international application could be supplied upon request to interested parties. The PCT does not affect the revenue of designated officers unless they decide voluntarily to give a rebate on national fees in view of the savings they make through the PCT, and in order to make the use of the international application route more attractive to the applicant. In any case, the most profitable source of revenue for most offices is from annual or renewal fees, which are not affected by the treaty. Examining patent offices benefit, in respect of most applications filed by foreigners, from an international search report and an international preliminary examination report. Their search costs are also thereby reduced. Non-examining officers receive an application which has already been examined as to form, which is accompanied by an international search report and possibly by an international preliminary examination report. This will put the office and the national industry affected by a patent and or interested in licensing in a much better position compared to the system of filing national or regional applications. National authorities involved in approving licensing agreements likewise benefit from the greater value of a patent granted on the basis of an international application. Patent offices of states party to the Harare Protocol, to the Eurasian Patent Convention, or to the European Patent Convention which opt to close the national route are not involved in the processing of international applications designating such states. Choosing this option is therefore particularly advisable if the National Patent Office is less well equipped than the regional office and is not prepared to receive and process increasing numbers of applications. 2.5.2 Advantages for the applicant. You may file your application in your own country, or, where applicable, with the competent regional office, or with the International Bureau as receiving office, with effect in foreign countries, and have more time to make up your mind as to those foreign countries in which you wish to seek protection. In a typical case, you have spent much less money in the stage prior to a granted patent than otherwise. If you do not use the international procedure offered by the PCT, you must start Preparations for filing abroad 3 to 6 months before the expiration of the priority period. You must prepare translations of the application and have them put into a different form for each country. Under the PCT, you need to file only one application, the international application, within the priority year, with effect in all states that you designate, which may be filed until the last day of the priority year, may be identical both as to language and form with your own national application. The cost of further translation has to be met eventually, but not until 8 or 18 months later than under a procedure which does not use the PFT, and only if you, having evaluated the international search report and, where available, the international preliminary examination report also, are self-interested in the countries concerned. If not, you can save all subsequent costs. 2.5.3 Advantages for the national economy and industry. International applications will be pursued in the national phase only if you believe, after seeing the results of the international search and usually also the international preliminary examination, that there are sound economical and technical reasons to do so. Thus, patents granted on the basis of international applications will usually provide a sounder basis for investment and transfer of technologies. Technological progress is an essential factor of national economic development. It is recognized that real technological progress cannot be achieved or cannot continue in a country, however industrialized, without constant stimulation of domestic inventive activities and at the same time importation, via licenses, of advanced technologies from foreign countries, since the PCT system greatly facilitates the obtaining of patent protection on an international level, and since the patents granted through the PCT route have been subjected to high-quality international search and usually also international preliminary examination, more and more applicants are seeking patent protection on an international level through the PET, thus preparing the route for technology transfer in licensing agreements. With more licensed technology, foreign investment will be stimulated, and with more advanced technologies and more investment, there will be increased levels of local employment and the technical skills of the local workforce will be enhanced. As the level of economic and technological development rises, an increasing number of nationals will use and greatly benefit from the PCT system when they seek patent protection abroad for their inventions, thus aiding in the penetration of export markets by local industry. The economies of many developing countries are growing rapidly, more investment and technology transfer in various areas, depending on the country concerned, are needed, as well as the creation and modernization, locally, of certain types of industries, manufacturers, etc., and services. Since foreign investors and licensors are relatively more interested in investing in and transferring technologies to a country whose economy is growing and where production costs are relatively low, the PET will often serve as an indispensable part of the country's strategy to foster its growing economy and to promote the steady rise of its economic and technological level. A further important advantage of the PCT for developing countries lies in its information effect. It can be very difficult to obtain a complete picture of the entire patent documents published in many countries in many languages and of the most recent state of the art resulting from them, since many important inventions are the subject of PCT applications. Developing countries have, through the international publication of these applications, early and easier access to modern technological information. The access will be early because international applications are published 18 months after the priority date of the application. It will be easier because the application will be published in one of the most important languages and, where not in English, with an English language abstract, and because the international search report, published together with the application, will make it easier to evaluate the technology disclosed in the application. Patent officers of PET contracting states are entitled to receive, free of charge, a copy of all published international applications of the PCT Gazette and of any other publication of general interest published by the International Bureau in connection with the PCT. The PCT offers distinct advantages for developing countries participating in this system. of international patent cooperation and requires no payment of contributions. That there is sufficient awareness of these advantages is confirmed by the impressive number of developing countries already party to the treaty. 2.6. Provisions of the Patent Law Treaty (PLT) and the regulations, applications and patents to which the treaty applies. According to Article 3, the PLT applies to national and regional applications that are applications for patents for invention, applications for patents of addition and divisional, applications for patents for invention or for patents of addition. These terms are to be construed in the same sense as the corresponding terms in Article 2(I) of the PCT. The PLT also applies to international applications for patents for invention and for patents of addition filed under the PCT once the international applications have entered into the national phase. It also applies to the time limits for the entry of international applications into the national phase under PCT Articles 22 and 39. 1. As regards patents, the PLT applies to all patents for invention and to patents of addition which have been granted by the office of a contracting party or by another office on behalf of that contracting party. Filing date requirements. The grant of a filing date is essential in view of deciding who has a priority to obtain a patent in each country and of determining prior art and patentability of the invention. It is also relevant to claiming a right of priority under the Paris Convention as well as to the calculation of the term of patent protection. Article 5 of the PLT sets up requirements for obtaining a filing date and procedures to avoid loss of the filing date because of a failure to comply with other formality requirements. In principle, the office of any contracting party shall accord a filing date to an application on the basis of three simple elements. These are I. An indication that what was filed is intended to be a patent application. E. Indications which identify the applicant and or allow the applicant to be contacted, and E. A part which on the face of it appears to be a description. A contracting party may, however, accept evidence that establishes the identity of, or allows a contact to, the applicant in the place of indications referred to in E. above, or accept a drawing in the place of a part referred to in E. above. Further, for the purpose of obtaining a filing date, an applicant may file a description in any language, although it may be needed to file a translation later. Article 5 also provides for the rules to establish a filing date where a part of the description or drawing is missing from the initially filed application, or where the descriptions and/or drawings are replaced by reference to another application. Standardized application and forms. The PLT establishes a single internationally standardized set of formal requirements for national and regional applications. In order to avoid having international double standards, the formal requirements in respect of international applications under the PCT are incorporated into the PLT wherever appropriate. The provisions in this respect are, in accordance with Article 6, 1, the requirements relating to the form or contents of international applications under the PCT, both concerning the international phase and the national phase, are incorporated by reference into the PLT. With minor exceptions, the contents of the request of an international application under the PCT are also incorporated by reference into the PLT. Article 6, 2a. The PLT Rule 3, 2, provides that a contracting party shall accept request forms that are based on the PCT request form. In addition to the request form, the treaty provides for the establishment of several additional model international forms that have to be accepted by all offices of contracting parties. Article 8, 3. These forms, which will be established by the Assembly, relate to the following communications. I. A power of attorney. E. A request for recordation of change in name or address. E. A request for recordation of change in applicant or owner. IV. A certificate of transfer. V. A request for recordation or cancellation of recordation of a license. V. A request for recordation or cancellation of recordation of a security interest, and V. A request for correction of a mistake. By using the model international forms, that is, filling in a single form and filing it with any office of a contracting party, applicants and other parties are assured that no office may refuse the communication on the basis of non-compliance with formality. Requirements. Restriction on mandatory representation. The PLT allows a contracting party to require that an applicant, owner or other interested person appoint a representative for the purposes of any procedure before the office, except for certain limited procedures. Article 7, 2. These limited procedures are I. The filing of an application for the purposes of the filing date. E. The mere payment of a fee. E. The filing of a copy of an earlier application for the purpose of establishing a filing date where a part of the description or a drawing has been missing from the initial filing. IV. The filing of a copy of a previously filed application for the purpose or A tilde LG system of filing date where the description and any drawings have been replaced by a reference. V. The issue of a receipt or notification by the office in respect of any procedure under I. To IV. Although an applicant or owner may carry out these permitted procedures with V. patent offices in foreign countries without engaging any representative, in accordance with Article 1E8, 6, and Rule 10, 2, a contracting party may acquire that the applicant or owner nevertheless provide an address for correspondence and offer 1 Agar J service 0. The territory of that country. Restriction on requiring evidence. In or tilde to reduce any unnecessary burden on applicants, the PLT provides that the evidence in the support of formal contents of an application, declarations of priority or the authentication of translations may only be required where the office has a reasonable doubt as to the veracity of the indications, the accuracy of the translation submitted by the applicant. Article 6, 6. Such a limitation with respect to evidence is also applicable to the indications contained in other communications such as a power of attorney, Rule 7, 4, a request for recordation of change in name or address, Rule 15, 4, etc. However, cons. 1. In a request for recordation of change in applicant or owner and a request for recordation or cancellation of recordation of a license or a security interest. The PLT expressly allows a contracting party to require limited documentation supporting the fact of such change or license, respectively. As regards a signature, a contracting party may require evidence only where the office has a reasonable doubt as to its authenticity. Article 8, 4, c. Otherwise, the office cannot require any attestation, notarization, authentication, legalization or other certification of a signature. Article 8, 4, b, except in the case of digital signatures. Rule 9, 6. Restriction on requirements to submit a copy of an earlier application in translation thereof. Rule 4, 3. Prohibits a contracting party to require a copy or a certified copy of the earlier application or the previously filed application if such earlier application or previously filed application has been filed with the office of that contracting party. The same applies to the cases where the office could obtain the copy or the certification from other offices through a digital library which is accepted by that office for that purpose. Further, Rule 4, 4 provides that the office may require translation of the earlier application only where the validity of the priority claim is relevant to the determination of whether the invention concerned is patentable. Single communication. The PLT allows an applicant or owner to consolidate a number of similar requests in one communication under certain circumstances. Rule 7, 2, b. For example, a contracting party shall accept a single power of attorney if it relates to one or more applications and or patents of the same person. Relief in respect of time limits and reinstatement of rights. The PLT provides 3 types of relief procedures. The first is an extension of the time limit for at least 2 months, where an applicant or owner requests the extension prior to the expiration of the time limit. Article 11, I. The second is an extension of the time limit for at least 2 months, wherein applicant or owner requests the extension after the expiration of the unobserved time limit. Article L1, 1, e. The third is continued processing. Article 11, 2. A contracting party is not obliged to provide the first type of extension. However, it is obliged to provide either the second type of extension or continued processing, if the circumstances meet the requirements under the treaty and the regulations. Relief under these provisions is limited to non-compliance with the time limit fixed by the office for an action in a procedure before the office. It does not apply to time limits fixed by legislation. The PLT also provides safeguard provisions if you, as an applicant or owner, have failed to meet a time limit and, as a consequence, have lost your rights with respect to an application or patent unintentionally or in spite of all due care required by the circumstances. Article 12. Reinstatement of rights shall be granted if a request to that effect is made, and all the relevant requirements are complied with, in a time limit of not less than 2 months from the date on which the reason of the non-compliance with the time limit is removed, or of not less than 12 months from the expiration of the missed time limit, whichever is shorter. Rule 13(2). In contrast to the relief in respect of time limits, reinstatement of rights is applicable to all time limits, including time limits set by legislation. Correction and addition of priority claim and restoration of priority right. As in the case of international applications under the PCT Rule 26, PLT Article 13(1), and Rule 14(1)(3), provide FOTTHE possibility of addition and correction of priority claims for national, regional applications. The PLT also provides for a remedy for the loss of a priority right due to innocent non-compliance with related time limits in 2 cases. The first is, where an application is filed after the expiration of the 12-month priority period, under certain conditions, you are entitled to the restoration of the priority right if the failure to claim a priority within 12 months occurred in spite of all due care taken by you, or was unintentional and the circumstances meet certain conditions. Article 13(2). The application has to be filed, and a request for restoration should be made, in at least 2 months from the date on which the priority period expired, but before the completion of any technical preparation for publication of the application. The second is, where you cannot submit a copy of an earlier application within 16 months from the priority date because of a delay in the office with which your earlier application was filed. In order to safeguard you in such cases, Article 13(3) and Rule 14(6) and 7 provide for restoration of priority rights. Paper and electronic communication. The goal of the PLT concerning paper and electronic filing is to facilitate the implementation of electronic filing of applications and other communications, to the advantage of both offices and their users, while ensuring the coexistence of both paper and electronic communications at the global level. The principle under the PLT is that any contracting party is neither obliged to accept the filing of communications in electronic form or by electronic means, Article 8(1)(b), nor obliged to exclude the filing of communications on paper, Article 8(1)(c)(j). Rule 8(1) provides that, in general, all contracting parties shall permit the filing of applications and communications on paper until June 2, 2005. After that date, a contracting party may implement full electronic filing, i.e., exclude paper filing, or it may continue to accept paper. However, even after June 2, 2005, applicants can use paper in all offices for the purposes of acquiring a filing date and complying with the time limit. 2.7 Summary. In order to overcome the difficulties faced in filing of national applications in all the countries where patent protection is sought, a single international filing system was evolved under Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT. PCT is not a patent granting authority. The filing under PCT involves 2 phases, viz. International phase and national phase. The international phase involves international application filing, international search, international publication, and international preliminary examination, optional. The national phase involves actual granting of patent by the national patent offices of the designated countries. PCT system is advantageous for the applicants, patent offices as well as for industrial and economic growth of the countries. To harmonize the procedures of national and regional patent applications, a patent Law Treaty, PLT, was adopted on June 1, 2000. Any country, party to the Paris Convention or member of WIPO can become party to PLT. PLT simplifies the procedures before the patent offices. It also helps in avoiding loss of rights of applicants under certain condition. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.